hunters of the court furiously march across the marred landscape, seething in silence. Their quarry has once again slipped through their grasp. As they press onward, a shriveled imp slithers from a sinkhole, one of the petty devils that infest no man's land, hawking cursed baubles to the desperate and damned. Before it can offer even a word, the Hell Knight impales the pathetic creature on a jagged rebar post. The others cackle as it twitches and moans, its pain a balm for their wounded pride. The demons have no need for trinkets, only flesh. The Auxilia sorcerer, using the imp's still warm entrails, performs a rite of haruspicy to divine the tangled movements of their prey. The omens are clear. Their paths will converge on an old Crusader fortress looming in the hills to the southeast. The Towers of Saint Simeon. The reliquarians push on. The Levantine wastes grow meaner with each passing mile. No map accurately marks these hills, and none among them have marched this far south. At dusk, they cross paths with a lone yeoman staggering west, weaponless and delirious. His uniform hangs in tatters. Between fevered breaths, he speaks of a nearby fort that his unit held weeks ago before they marched east into the desert, where trench pilgrims fell upon them in a zealous frenzy. He alone survived. The lieutenant offers the soldier food and a rifle, folding him into the ranks. He orders his men to shift course toward the fortress. From there, they will survey the landscape and chart the safest route south. Circling from the west, the Heretic Procession winds through blasted valleys and knife-edged hills under the black banners of Baal. Blinded slaves groan as they pull carts loaded with supplies and munitions. Veiled monks swing iron censers, spilling smoke thick with ash and myrrh, while chanting hymns forbidden in every liturgy but theirs. Beyond a cleft in the hills, the towers of Saint Simeon come into view, rising like daggers against the jaundiced sky. With a sharp crack, the heretic priest drives his staff into the earth. The procession behind him halts. The priest's eyes narrow beneath his rusted great helm. The war rituals must be performed from a height where the air is thin enough for the veil to lift. This place will suffice. Without a word, the priest drives his staff into the earth once more. The procession veers towards the towers. Rules of engagement. 1. At the end of each turn, a player scores 2 victory points if they control a tower. 2. At the end of the game, a player scores 1 victory point for each of their models that is standing on the highest tower. 3. In secret, all players must nominate one of the towers as a high-priority target. When the game ends, players reveal their hidden tower. If a player has control over the tower, then they score 5 victory points instead of 2. If the player has control over an opponent's hidden tower, they score an additional 5 points. Kyle chooses Tower 3, while both Miguel and Anthony choose Tower 5. The sun hangs low over the jagged hills. The third battle begins as the 3 warbands approach the fractured fort, ruined towers looming above them. Kyle takes the initiative, positioning a yeoman near the southeastern border. Miguel's Hell Knight takes up position near the north-central pass, his armor glinting faintly through the haze. Anthony plants his artillery witch in the southwest, digging into cover with her shovel. Kyle deploys a second yeoman to the southeastern push, reinforcing the line. Miguel answers by deploying his yoke fiend to the northeast, looming behind a shattered embankment. Anthony's warwolf is deployed to the southwest, stalking near the witch. Kyle's mechanized heavy infantry advances to the center of the eastern trench. Miguel positions his wretched directly beside the yoke fiend, its gait twisted and uncertain.
How much this way?
24.
And then how much? So
I can't tell if he's serious.
Anthony places his death commando near the center of the western path, keeping close to the shadows. Kyle Kyle deploys a shock trooper to the southeast flank. Miguel positions the Auxilia Sorcerer on the high ground to the northwest. Anthony responds by placing the Heavy Anointed near the Death Commando, two brutal silhouettes at the heart of the trench line. Kyle's lieutenant takes position beside the shock trooper to the southwest, commanding the flank. Miguel places his praetor southeast, taking cover behind the half-buried bones of some long-dead titan. Anthony's heretic trooper joins the front line near the Anointed. Kyle completes his western line with a third yeoman beside the others. Miguel's Pit Locust is deployed next to the Hell Knight, twitching in anticipation. Anthony's heretic priest tucks behind the parapet near the Anointed and Death Commando. Kyle moves to strengthen his presence on the eastern approach, placing a shock trooper beside the heavy mechanized infantry. Miguel's Hunter of the Left-Hand Path infiltrates into the shadows. Anthony deploys a second heretic trooper beside the first, reinforcing the vanguard. Kyle's last shock trooper positions himself near his fire team partner and the heavy mechanized infantry, locking the formation. Finally, Kyle places an infiltrator yeoman at the base of the southeastern tower, watching the third objective from cover. Positions locked, steel readied, guns braced. The battle begins. Anthony's Death Commando advances first, boots crunching dry earth and gunpowder as he pushes toward the fort. He attempts to dash forward, but fails, stumbling on loose rubble. From the north, Miguel's Hunter of the Left-Hand Path steps into view, a silhouette framed by crumbling archways. It sights Anthony's Heavy Anointed.
Out of every single game, he has never hit anybody. And he always gets taken out, yep. Holy fuck, he got a 12!
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god!
No way. No.
Oh my god!
Out of action, baby!
Holy shit. Holy shit.
He actually didn't do nothing.
Every game! Every game!
Holy shit.
He actually didn't do nothing.
I can't keep him. I gotta bench him. I gotta bench him.
The Anointed collapses and is taken out of action. First Blood, Kyle's first fire team, begin their advance. The lieutenant takes point through the narrow southern breach. Climbing the base of the fort, he is joined by a shock trooper, both reaching the base with successful dashes across scattered debris. Behind the western trench, Anthony's heretic priest presses forward, silent. He spots Miguel's sorcerer exposed and fires his silenced pistol. The shot lands clean. The sorcerer is downed, crumpling into the dust. To the east, Miguel's yoke fiend begins to strike the wretched with his instrument of torture. With grotesque brutality, he whips his thrall into a frenzy, leaving 2 blood markers. Kyle's shock trooper fire team moves in tandem, one covering the other as they both successfully dash through the collapsed courtyard, securing position near the base of the tower, holding Objective 4. High in the southwest, Anthony's artillery witch climbs the hill to the base of the pillbox bunker.
Oh yeah!
She sights Kyle's 3 yeomen clustered along the southern approach.
You deserve it after last game.
It's true, I do. Alright, no, I don't.
She sends a missile singing through the air. The shell misses center, but lands close. All 3 yeomen are caught in the blast. Miguel's fallen sorcerer stirs. Wounded but still breathing, the sorcerer retaliates with hellfire. A swirling orb of flame and damned souls screams across the battlefield, crashing into Anthony's heretic troopers. One takes the full brunt, gaining 2 blood markers. The other staggers as he's caught in the shockwave, gaining 1 blood marker.
Go after him. He's got.
Can't see him.
No, go for him.
That's a lot of
He won last game. Oh yeah, but now
He
now
won
you-
first game.
That's true. Now you win for yourself.
That spot. Everyone's won when they've been at that spot. So if you don't win this one,
That's
it's done.
true.
That's true.
That's the winner's spot.
Both troopers are downed by the burning force of the blast. The first of Kyle's downed yeomen rises near the still-smoking crater and crawls into cover near the trench wall. Anthony's heretic trooper struggles to his feet and fires on the sorcerer, but the shot misses. He then successfully dashes into cover, bracing behind a trench wall. On the north side of the fort, Miguel's praetor advances, bounding to the top of the northeastern tower with a single thrust of his massive wings, securing Objective 4. He takes control of the ancient mortar, takes aim, and fires on Kyle's heavy mechanized infantry.
Oh my god! Just like that, just like that! Oh my god!
Yo, this was good!
On the southern approach, another of Kyle's yeomen rises and scrambles toward the trench. He attempts to dash, but is unsuccessful, slowed by debris. To the west, Anthony's second heretic trooper fires on the Auxilia sorcerer, but misses his mark. He then dashes forward to assist his comrade. Miguel's pit locust barrels toward the northwestern tower, metal wings buzzing with rage. It then unsuccessfully attempts to launch itself skyward before realizing its feet sinking into the mire, halting its heavy frame from rising as its wings beat furiously. The last of Kyle's downed yeomen rallies and joins the others, regrouping beneath the trench lip. Anthony's warwolf snarls and hastens north, successfully dashing in to support the heretic troopers now braced along the trench's edge. Miguel's Hell Knight pushes forward behind the pit locust and fires a shot toward Anthony's death commando, but the bolt goes astray, taking out a chunk of the wall. Finally, Miguel's wretched shambles forward, dragging its ruined form toward the staircase. It succeeds in its dash, mounting the steps as the battle grinds on. End of round 1. Miguel, 2 points for controlling an objective. Anthony and Kyle gain no points this round. Round 2. Anthony's artillery witch, perched atop the shattered pillbox, sights Kyle's lieutenant through the haze. She hurls another shell skyward. It arcs, then drops short, detonating against the rubble below. Kyle's infiltrator, Yeoman, darts up the iron ladder of the southwest tower, gripping the side rail with blistered hands. Once atop, he swings the mortar north. He fires direct hit, and the blast hammers Miguel's praetor. Staggering the winged brute, the praetor turns slowly, locking eyes with the yeoman. He raises his serpent assault gun, a revolting machine fused with a portal to the pestilent swamps of the 5th circle of hell. The first shot hisses through the air, catching the yeoman squarely in the chest, dropping him hard. The second round hits, burning another necrotic wound into the downed soldier's body. Through the swirling fog, the praetor surges forward across the bridge. His hellblade moves with lethal precision. The yeoman is taken out of action. With one brutal beat of his wings, the praetor returns to the northeast tower, reclaiming the objective in a cloud of smog and filth. Meanwhile, Anthony's death commando scales the base of the northwest tower. He climbs fast, vaults up the second level, and succeeding a risky action and dash reaches the top. Activating his stealth generator, he slips out of view. Kyle's shock trooper fire team continues across the lower courtyard to the base of the central tower, being careful to stay out of view of the praetor above. Miguel's sorcerer rises from the blood-slicked trench, chanting in Goetic tongue. He channels Hellfire once more, enhancing his black magic with the pain of his wretched. Tearing open another portal, he hurls a fireball toward Anthony's warwolf. Direct hit. The beast howls in pain. The adjacent heretic trooper is caught in the blast, scorching his flesh. Anthony urges the warwolf forward, but the dash fails. It stumbles, wounded, just behind the edge of the ruins. Kyle's lieutenant circles around the base of the southeast tower quietly, taking aim through the broken ladder frame and fires on the praetor above, with 2 bursts from his submachine gun. The first shot catches the praetor off guard, downing him. The second shot should have finished the demon. Kyle's shock trooper surges forward to reinforce his lieutenant, leveling his shotgun for a bloodbath into the downed praetor. But the hit only keeps him down temporarily, inflicting 1 blood marker. Miguel's hunter of the left-hand path consumes 2 blood markers, 1 from each of the downed heretic troopers. Bending time and space, he warps to the southwest tower.
Essentially, what your guy just did. You went.
He spots a shock trooper below and fires another blood arrow.
When his bomb witch is literally right there, about to smoke your ass immediately. But I'll keep my mouth shut.
You haven't moved that?
Oh, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't move it? Nah, I'm gonna fuck it
Like
up.
there's not a next round.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck it up.
Critical hit.
3 sixes.
The trooper is speared to the stone and taken out of action. Anthony's heretic priest tries to reposition but stumbles in the uneven terrain, failing the dash. He's left exposed.
I'm still in my deployment zone.
Yeah, this is not moving at all.
Kyle's yeomen continue their ascent, attempting to stay out of view while scrambling up the trench wall toward the ruined castle. The point man advances. Miguel pushes the yoke fiend forward, guiding it up the spiral stairs. It attempts to once again inflict great pain upon the wretched, but fails. Anthony's heretic trooper clambers up under the bridge between the 2 western towers. He attempts to dash, but fails, exhausted from pain. He can't reach cover in time. Kyle's second yeoman crests the trench wall nearby, continuing the advance. Miguel's pit locust crawls from the dark, bounding toward the heretic priest. It charges. The stinger and claws strike down the priest, inflicting 3 blood markers. Anthony's second heretic trooper joins the first, dashes forward to gain line of sight on the praetor atop the northeast tower, and fires. But the shot goes wide. Kyle's final yeoman covers the formation's rear, taking cover behind a corpse pole. As Miguel's Hell Knight pushes towards the fort, he spots the heretic troopers. He fires, but the pistol shot misses. Undeterred, he dashes toward the central tower, pushing deeper into the chaos. End of round 2. Miguel, 4 points for controlling 2 towers. Anthony, 2 points for controlling 1 tower. Kyle gains no points this round. Round 3. Smoke drifts low over the battlefield as Kyle's fire team readies another volley at the praetor. The lieutenant steadies his submachine gun and fires 2 short bursts, crack through the air. The first rips into the demon's chest. The second volley drives deeper, keeping the beast downed with a snarling gasp. The shock trooper braces his shotgun and fires.
God damn it!
Let's go!
He curses, then pulls back, disappearing behind the southern tower wall. From the shadows, Anthony's death commando uncloaks with a shimmer and roars across the bridge toward the hunter of the left-hand path. His claws strike with brutal clarity, landing 1 clean blow, then another. The praetor rises, its wings twitching with hate. Seeing the death commando assault its ally on the adjacent tower, the praetor raises its plague-warped rifle. With both a successful aim and hit, the first round cracks the commando's armor. The second hits harder, burning into his side. Then, without hesitation, the praetor lets out a scream, flying across the ruined gap in her charge of hatred toward the death commando. The praetor cuts clean through the commando, sending gore splashing across the tower and downing the fiend.
God damn it.
With the skill of a champion, the praetor lashes out again, a second strike crackling with abyssal fire, taking the commando out of action. Meanwhile, Kyle's shock trooper below, seeing his fire team partner speared by the hunter, turns the other way, ascending the rampart. With a successful dash toward the ladder, he ascends. Spotting the mortar, he braces, adjusts the rusted sights, and fires a shell toward Miguel's praetor just as it cuts down the commando. The shot veers, missing the demon entirely, and crashes below.
Don't I choose where to go? Where it goes?
my god!
So funny.
Anthony's heretic trooper, unlucky enough to be near the blast, is thrown backward.
Fucking.
Sure. And then miss again.
That would be so funny. Please do it. I'm doing it.
With a flash, a bomb materializes, plummeting like a meteor.
And he's not tough. Let's go.
The missile lands directly atop the Praetor and takes the demon out of action in a catastrophic blaze. Miguel's nearby hunter is caught in the edge of the blast and slammed off the tower's edge, gaining 1 blood marker. He crashes to the ground below, rolling through blood-soaked rubble. The hunter crawls to his feet, bones snapping back into place, and turns toward Anthony's heretic troopers. Feeding off their blood markers, he bends reality, vanishing from the western trench and reappearing on the northeast tower. His bow is already drawn.
Out of action.
Oh my god. Holy shit, dude.
What? No! 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 No!
God damn. Boom!
Fuck.
The artillery witch is torn from the pillbox perch with a shriek and a blossom of gore taken out of action. To the west, Kyle's yeomen continue to press toward the southwest tower, now safe from the artillery witch's attacks. Anthony's warwolf furiously leaps through the ruins. It lands before Miguel's auxilia sorcerer, snarling through its motorized teeth. With a lunge, it successfully clamps down on the sorcerer's side, grinding through its rotten flesh. But the sorcerer, eyes glowing with rage, recites a stanza of infernal poetry, using 4 blood markers to minimize the damage. Able to stave off death momentarily, the sorcerer is downed rather than taken out of action. The wolf lashes out with its claws, carving through the sorcerer's throat. The body convulses, then lies still, taken out of action. Seeing this, Miguel's Hell Knight draws his Hellblade and swings at the warwolf.
A whiff. He whiffed.
Fuck.
He whiffed.
To the south, another of Kyle's yeomen surges forward. A successful dash brings him closer to their objective, the southwest tower. Anthony's heretic priest lunges at the pit locust, blade glinting red in the fading light. The edge bites into alloy carapace. Then, speaking the words of binding, the priest casts Puppet Master. The locust recoils, then stumbles back, entranced. It turns, and the priest strikes again. The pit locust shudders, then collapses, out of action. Miguel's wretched drags itself up the stairs behind the tower. Blood seeps from a dozen rents in its skin. It tries to dash, but fails. Kyle's final yeoman follows, pushing past craters and corpses to join the others. The northwest tower looms just ahead. One of Anthony's heretic trooper advances, scanning the top of the towers. He sights the hunter and fires. The shot misses, striking the stone battlements. Miguel's yoke fiend hurries up staircase toward the northeast tower. Reaching the top, it spins the heavy mortar barrel, targets the heretic trooper, and fires direct hit. The blast obliterates the trooper, his scream lost to the thunder of the explosion. End of round 3. Miguel, 4 points for controlling 2 towers. Kyle, 2 points for controlling 1 tower. Anthony gains no points this round. With only a few fighters left standing, the battle enters its final phase. The hunter of the left-hand path lines up a desperate shot on the warwolf, but the warwolf is locked in brutal melee with Miguel's own Hell Knight. The shot misses, accidentally piercing the Hell Knight's exposed flank.
Oh my god!
A critical hit, taken out of action.
Oh my god, dude.
From atop the southeastern tower, Kyle's shock trooper successfully dashes across the bridge, charging the yoke fiend on the northeast tower. His strike goes wide. Anthony's warwolf howls and launches upward, succeeding in both a charge and a climbing roll. It scrambles up the stone tower, tears in Miguel's hunter with its chainsaw maw, inflicting one blood marker. However, the hunter thwarts the attack with his beast cloak, healing his wretched. The werewolf continues its assault, shredding through the hunter's defenses and downing it. Miguel's wretched scrambles towards the mortar and fires at Anthony's heretic trooper. A direct hit, taking him out of action. Kyle's lieutenant scales the southeast tower and crosses onto the bridge. He charges at the yoke fiend with sword drawn. The strike misses as the demon suddenly jerks out of the blade's path. Anthony's heretic priest moves into view of the downed hunter atop the tower. Muttering foul rites, he successfully casts Puppet Master. The hunter's limbs twitch violently as invisible strings pull him toward the edge. As he stumbles, the werewolf successfully strikes in a blur of violence. Blood arcs through the air. The hunter topples from the tower, landing below with a wet thud. Out of action. Miguel's yoke fiend disengages from the shock trooper and the lieutenant, both getting an opportunity attack. The lieutenant lands a glancing blow, inflicting one blood marker. The yoke fiend then rushes to the mortar, aims at the werewolf on the adjacent tower and fires. The shot misses, and the blast strikes the stairs nearby. The wretched is caught in the explosion and taken out of action. With Kyle's units outnumbering Miguel's, Kyle claims the northeast tower. In the final maneuvers, Kyle's shock trooper hurries up the ladder to claim the southeast tower. His yeomen then climb the ladder to the southwest tower, claiming a third objective. End of round 4. Kyle. 6 points for controlling 3 towers. Anthony. 2 points for controlling 1 tower. Miguel gains no points this round. Anthony and Kyle both control their secretly chosen tower, giving them 3 additional points each. Anthony is also controlling Miguel's secretly chosen tower, granting him an additional 5 points. Final scores. Anthony, 12. Kyle, 11. Miguel, 10. The reliquarians are pushed back into the smog-choked hills, bloodied and spent. They must make their way southward, without the advantage of foresight. They continue towards their first rally point, to meet with an old priest who will help guide them further south through the Bequa Valley. The Praetor is gone, atomized in the blast, but not destroyed. His material form will be remade through the dark rites of the court. But for now, the demons are leaderless. The fractured line limps southward. At the crater where the Praetor was struck down by the artillery witch, heretic troopers sift through warped metal and scorched ash. They recover a reliquary pouch intact, still warm with a vernal energy. Inside, a twisted shard of blackened bone, inscribed with curling runes. This Stygian relic was taken from the rib of his progenitor, torn out by the Praetor itself during its initiation into command. All Praetors carry such a token. To lose it is a grave dishonor. He will want it back. As the moon rises over the broken towers of St. Simeon, the clerics chant in some barbarous, infernal tongue. The air thickens. The wind stops. Slaves, bound to rusted beams, are offered up in dark reverence. Their discordant screams echo down the valley as the heretic priest begins his black mass.